Hi everyone. I'm going to share with you a ELA unit that I created on the novel The Corn Raid. The Corn Raid is a novel written by James Lincoln Collier. The Common Core state standards related to this unit are reading literature 5.1, quote accurately from a text when explaining what the text says explicitly and when drawing inferences from the text. Reading literature 5.2, determine the theme of a story, drama, or poem from details in the text, including how characters in a story or drama respond to challenges, or how the speaker in a poem reflects upon a topic, and summarize the text. And reading literature 5.3, compare and contrast two or more characters, settings, or events in a story or drama, drawing on specific details in the text. There are several more Common Core state standards that are related to this unit. Writing 5.1, writing an opinion piece on topics of text. Also, it's asking more specifically for students to state an opinion and create an organized structure in which ideas are logically grouped to support the writer's purpose. It's also asking students to provide logical ordered reasons. Link opinions and reasons using words, phrases, and clauses. Provide a conclusion statement or a section related to opinion presented. Writing standard 5.3, which write narratives and develop a real or imagined experiences or events. 5.3a, orient the reader by establishing a situation and introducing a narrator and/or characters. 5.3b, use narrative techniques such as dialogue, description, and pacing to develop sequences and events or show the response of characters to a situation. Writing 5.3c, use a variety of transitional words, phrases, and clauses to manage the sequence of events. Writing 5.3d, use concrete words and phrases and sensory details to convey experiences and events precisely. And finally, writing 5.3e, provide a conclusion that follows from the narrated experiences or events. It also includes technology standards, ISTE Standard 1, Creativity and Innovation, ISTE Standard 2, Communication and Collaboration, ISTE 4, Critical Thinking, Problem Solving, and Decision Making, and ISTE 6, Technology, Operations, and Concepts. I have 4 student goals and learning outcomes that I want students to achieve during this unit. The first goal is that students will understand the way of life of colonial America in the 1600s. I would like students to compare the differences in their lives compared to the lives of the plantation owners, indentured servants, or Native Americans at the time. Students will also make comparisons to the way that an 11-year-old lives presently compared to how an 11 or 12-year-old lived their life in the year 1610. Goal number 2 is students will understand how to locate details and supporting details from a novel. The first outcome would be that students will support their opinions with details and supporting details from the novel. Their second outcome would be that students will be able to describe the main character's personality traits using supporting details from the novel. That's going to be very key in our unit. Goal number 3 is that students will be able to generate alternative outcomes to key events in the novel. The outcome for that would be that students will be able to use character traits and supporting details related to the characters to create an alternative scene in the novel. Outcome 2 is that students will use setting details to support the scene they are creating. Goal number 4 is the students will be able to bring their scenes to life in a skit, with the first outcome being that students will demonstrate dialogue in their written scripts, and then students will use language relative to the time period of the novel, which takes place in the year 1610 or so, and that is similar to that that's being used in the novel. They want to make sure the language is consistent between the two. In this unit, I use several applications and devices. Each student is provided a Chromebook through our school district, so that's mainly where they're going to be getting their information and the the tools and the applications will already be on their Chromebooks. A lot of the documents that will be shared between teacher and students are shared through Google Classroom. The students will use Google Docs and Google Slides, Google Sheets, the Google applications basically to complete the assignments and activities. Google Drawings is a big one that I use in this unit because students are going to be, I've created flow maps and different thinking maps for students to use, and I push those out through Google Classroom. In the unit, we use a Nearpod lesson that takes a virtual reality field trip to a Native American hut and to different Native American areas. When students are to record a skit or to do a presentation using Google Slides, they will also use Screencastify to record themselves and to make a presentation. Students will also use their recordings on Screencastify to share on our class YouTube channel, and YouTube is also used in this unit to make sure that we have access to video clips that pertain to the novel and the unit we are working on. It's important that every part of this unit covers the depth of knowledge wheel. Level 1 is recall, level 2 skill and concept, level 3 strategic thinking, and level 4 extended thinking. It's really important to make sure that we have all of these areas covered to make sure that we have a very in-depth lesson. In this unit, I make sure that I use a lot of techniques and strategies and create lessons that will appeal to all of the multiple intelligences. The 8 intelligences are linguistic, logical, visual, musical, intrapersonal, kinesthetic, interpersonal, and naturalistic. It's really important to teach to all of these multiple intelligences and not to stick to the one that mainly pertains to us or just to those logical and visual learners. We need to make sure that the naturalistic intelligences are covered, as well as the kinesthetic and the musical intelligences. In this course, I've gained so much knowledge that I believe is going to make me a better educator. It's made me a better student, I believe. I'm very excited about the things that I've learned and that I'm beginning to implement in my classroom. I'm seeing a lot of great reaction from my students, getting them, especially my kinesthetic learners, to get up and move and apply that movement to what they're learning. My visual students are really taking off with the virtual field trips and the VR goggles that I purchased for our classroom. So I am very grateful for this course and the things we are covering, and I hope that in the future I'm able to be a leader in my school site with technology and implementing it in the classroom. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.